Hello, trading has closed on the 11th of September 2024. We'll do our disclaimer first, as we always do. Go over our calls and make our predictions. This is my trading plan for tomorrow, which is September 12th, 2024. Please remember to trade at your own risk. My calls can be completely wrong. Every now and then we like to remind people that the MEJT system gives targets. The targets are quite accurate. It doesn't give entries, and that's why this system has to be used in conjunction with other methods of technical analysis and not instead of them. Well, let's go over our calls. This was the pattern with the early high. It tends to be a rally day with a high in the final hour. We certainly got that. We had a wave count that said if this high held, we should drop right from the open and hit a target of 54.6522. I think the count was accurate because we did drop right from the open and we hit the target. Now, we don't have to stop at the target. And this was quite a reversal. It went through one of our old targets that will now cross off the list, 55.3649, and we're getting close to the only higher targets that we have left. Remember that the high over the Labor Day has to fall, over the Labor Day weekend, we've been saying has to fall at some time. That's a wall with gap pattern. Those things don't stay forever. This is just a reminder of what we said. I guess we usually make this in black. Well, during the day, MEJT gave a sell signal in the morning, certainly traded far enough to satisfy it. MEJT, in spite of this huge rally, said this flip up wouldn't stick. It's already retraced, said that drop wasn't going anywhere. And now it says this afternoon rally's not for keeps. Gives us a target of 54.98.56. And if we don't gap up smartly, that's my call. And there's a wall into the close. These things often, not always, represent panic action by retail customers. And if that wall is right, we're going to gap under these lows. And that makes it plausible we'll hit the target. But there is the producer price index coming out before tomorrow's open. I just can't predict the response to those economic reports. Who knows where we'll open? We could open way up here, way down there. Just not my thing. Well, we're going to have to find some way to count the waves. This is our long-term count, and we'll show how we got the bottom based on this count, but I'm not really sure that's the right count. I mean, is this the one I wanted to show? I don't think it is. This is the one. Okay, we had this B and we had A, and then we had an A and a B and a C for blue B. So here's blue A, blue B, and right at our low today, blue C equal blue A. So it implies that yesterday's count was correct, and it implies this ABC is over. So now how do you count this wave up? Well, it's a straight line. I don't know any way to count a straight line. And this was the count I've been using. We have ABC for A, but this may be a cleaner count. If that's A and that's B, and I have B stopping here instead of here, as I do with the other count, we hit this number right on the head, and that's in A, B, C. Of course, wave C could end here. This could be ABC of C. See, this is the high of magenta C, and this is the wave end of magenta C. So then C would be equal to A without having to fudge by using this. We use this. So I think that's a cleaner count. What makes it interesting is if that's A and that's B, today's close is right at the 61.8%. So based on this chart, if we start dropping tomorrow and erase all this gain, you could actually count this as being over right here. Problem I have is if that's the right count, I should find some way to count the waves on smaller time frames, and maybe there is one, I just can't do it. But that doesn't mean there isn't one. It could mean I'm just not trying hard enough. So it's one of these areas where you have to keep your antenna up to see if this holds, because I don't care how strong the reversal is, any move like this has to be confirmed. And if we don't trade higher than this close, this doesn't mean anything. But that we're not going to know until the open. It's just one of those areas with the wall onto the close and the lower target. I'm not yet convinced that's the real thing. You have to, if we gap down here and start dropping, this might not mean a thing. That hasn't happened yet, so you can't really say. So tomorrow's pattern has the early low regardless of where we open. The PPI comes out before tomorrow's open. I just can't predict the response to these major economic reports with a sufficient degree of accuracy. Now we have a lower MEJT target. If we don't gap up smartly, the rules call for it to print. There's a wall into the close, so gapping down, hitting the target is plausible in spite of today's reversal. I mean, it's a huge reversal. You still have to trade past today's close. That hasn't happened yet. You can't rule out continuing higher instead. The high over the Labor Day weekend has to fall at some time. Nothing prevents that time from being now. Note we're in the 3-day window in which a significant bottom could form according to Carolan's work. I mean, if we start rallying here, there's probably some other count that can explain it, and it's right in his window, his 3-day window. So I'm just going to keep my powder dry until I see the reaction to the producer price index. I don't have a wave count that's clear and pretty, and if I don't have one that's clear, I'm not going to risk any money on it. I think there's a good chance we gap down tomorrow. There's a good chance we hit 54.96.56. It's the pattern with the early low. As I showed you on that last chart, you don't really have to go higher than this, but it's not really as clear as I would like at this point. And if we gap down, I've got a good plan. It's to go for this number. If we keep going up, I'm going to have to work a little bit harder. It's the pattern with the early low, and that's today's call.